Okay, so we are recording now. I apologize. Okay, where was I? Miss Layla Melvin, welcome. Your school and your grade for now, please.
Hi, I'm here. Hi, my name is Layla Melvin, and I'm a junior at Blanche Ely High School.
Thank you, Layla. Welcome. Dr. Milenkovic.
Hi, I'm Lisa Milenkovic, Supervisor for STEM and Computer Science with Broward County Schools.
An amazing program that you have. Mabel Cologne.
I'm Mabel Cologne of Choose Peace, Stop Violence.
Wonderful. Thank you for joining us. Miss Nia Virgo, great to have you here. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Nia Virgo, and I'm a senior at JP Turnbull High School.
Welcome, Nia. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Paul Martin, so good to see you. Thank you for being here. Do you want to say hello?
Sure. Hi there. I'm Paul Martin. I'm one of the advisors to Broward School District, and I work on financial aid with College Money Method.
And you're amazing and a first-gen grad of both Harvard and MIT, just saying. All right, Mr. Ralph Aiello.
And good afternoon, everybody. Ralph Aiello. I'm the Director of School Counseling and Brace Advisement for Broward County Public Schools.
And great kudos to the launch of the HBCU fair last night, Ralph and team. That was amazing.
Thank you.
Roselaw Bruce, do you want to say hello?
Hi, everyone. My name is Roselaw, and I'm from Blanche Ely High School, and I'm a sophomore.
Fantastic. Welcome. And Robert Fanoof. So a new member of the steering committee from a board of directors, I guess, training camp, if you will, of Emerge Broward, but an accomplished attorney locally with a military background. I'm sorry, I'm introducing you, Robert. Do you want to say hello and introduce yourself?
Hello, nice to meet everybody.
In the name of your law firm?
Actually, I work at Bronson and Carmona. I actually do insurance defense mostly.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you for being here. Sharon Hyacinth.
Hi, my name is Sharon Hyacinth. I am a junior at Blanche Ely High School, and today I'll be representing Sarah Westner, who sadly could not be here.
We're thrilled to have you and have you talk a little bit about HALT when we get there. Susan Kleiman from the Alliance.
Hi, everyone. Susan Kleiman. I'm Manager of Education Programs with the Greater Fort Lauderdale Alliance.
And also one of our executive champion agencies.
Yes.
And that last but certainly not least, unless I've missed someone, you can speak up, please. The wonderful Will Spencer from our umbrella backbone organization, 211 Broward.
Yeah, thank you. I guess good afternoon. I was going to say good morning. So nice to see friends and colleagues who have been working with B2L for a while. Great to see new people who are joining and getting involved, and especially nice to see the students, our motion in action. Thanks.
Wonderful. And we have one caller that I'm going to move over or allow to talk. I don't know who the caller is. The talking is permitted for the caller. If you would like to unmute and say hello.
Hello, Denise Cruz, Deerfield Beach High School Brace Advisor.
Fantastic, Denise. Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
Is there anyone I've missed in the attendee list that has not been able to say hello?
Hi, Colleen. It's Christine Sylvain, founder of Path to College and co-chair of the Middle High School Strategy Team of Achieve Palm Beach County.
Our LCAN up north. So fantastic. And also the awardee for, what was the award you received yesterday?
The Tikkun Alum Award from the Jewish Federation of Palm Beach County.
Yeah, congratulations. And that's a big testament to all the good work you do, Christine. Thank you for being here. Okay, so we're right on track, 3:10. We're done with self-intros. Woohoo! All right, so our goal is to get through all of this very quickly. So I will warn you in advance, these next several slides are pretty dense, but I'm going to go quickly. So please do stop me if you have questions, if you have objections, or if you need me to go more slowly. Otherwise, I'll take it as an approval to continue to go fast. All right. So just as a background, what we would normally do, especially with folks who are new to B2L, is go over kind of mission, vision, the formation, the governance. We're not going to do any of that today. What I'm simply going to start with is where we were last year in terms of goals and objectives. A group came together, we planned this out, and we came down with a handful of goals that we could meaningfully measure around college and career readiness for high school kids at 10 target schools. And those goals were increase FAFSA by 5%, increase scholarships applied for by 3%, and have 65% of seniors complete their post-secondary action plan. The overarching lens with which B2L operates is an equity lens. And last year, we defined that as meaning how many youth are involved in our work, because youth are the customers of the education product. We want them to help inform and steer what we do, right? So we measured that by the level of youth involvement, and because racial equity is so important and training in racial equity and history is so important, the number of students that were racial equity trained. So those were our goals last year. We then had a planning exercise with several of you, if not most of you, using a template post-COVID in March that said, what are you going to do with your programming initiatives and goals with COVID? What goals do you want to defer? What goals do you want to expand on? What goals are going to be basically displaced and go elsewhere? And what else has changed? And one of the things that came out of this exercise, which is was several meetings and several conversations about what we could meaningfully measure. The first one is probably the most important one, and this I want to attribute to Dr. Gibson, Candace. We measured equity last year by measuring the number of youth that were involved in B2L and students that were racial equity trained. What equity lens really means is, have we meaningfully increased equitable outcomes, right? So that is a whole new goal, and it's a whole new way of measurement of that goal, but it's a very important distinction of where we were last year in terms of measuring and what we want to measure. The second thing was just one of those intuitively obvious things. When we talk about college affordability as a basic fundamental objective for what B2L does in partnership with all of you, one of the things that we hadn't really tackled last year was, if a student achieves college credits while they are in high school, they are in fact, in part, affording higher ed by achieving those articulated college credits. So certainly that mechanism as a piece of college affordability was something to consider as an additional objective. Career exploration and job preparation are clearly important areas of emphasis, and this was no more starkly apparent than the Naviance data that we saw at the end of the year, which indicated, and we'll show this later, but the number one job of interest, the number one career that students in Broward, and I have no doubt this is echoed in Miami and Palm Beach and other parts of the country as well, the number one career aspiration was not to become an engineer, not to go to law school, not to be a nurse or a doctor. It was to become a YouTube digital influencer or e-gamer, right? The category in Naviance is called actor, but that's what it means. So that was pretty startling. And what it clearly indicates is that exposure to and understanding of career options was an important area of emphasis for us going in. With COVID, all things communication are essential. There's so much more noise. We are disconnected. Being meaningful and compelling and targeted about what we say and to whom is essential. And then lastly, one of the goals that we had last year was relying upon self-reported student data. And we all know that self-reported data is somewhat reliable, but not entirely so, and that using concrete data sources for measurement of goals was really important. So since May, what we've done, we exceeded, as of the end of last school year, all of our objectives with the exception of one. It was the scholarships applied for. And again, this is self-reported data by students at the 10 target schools. While district-wide, we exceeded the 3% goal at the 10 target schools, we only achieved 0.48%. But that was the only goal where we didn't far exceed our original goals. And in the midst of COVID, that's a pretty cool thing. We added new stakeholder and executive champion partners, including Broward Education Foundation, MODS, and YMCA, among others. We hosted 4 very successful career town halls over the summer, well received. These were focused on pandemic sustainable industry sectors. And what I mean by that is things that will survive and succeed and grow and be very flourishing in the post-pandemic world. And they included supply chain management, the marine and maritime industry, the environmental sciences industry, and data science and IT. As of September, our monthly Student Success Network meetings, which were the equivalent of our working group, we went from basically adults from different agencies talking to one another about how we can help youth, to having students be the SSN. The bulk of what the meetings are about are youth come to the SSN network meetings are now student meetings, if that makes any sense. So that was a big move, a big change, and I think significant for us. We also launched, beginning in October, the inaugural meeting of the Youth-Led Racial Equity and Social Justice Advisory Council. Long name, we hope that youth will help us rename that. But this is a great and an imperative area for us across the board in terms of youth telling us what makes sense to move forward in that space. And we are blessed to have a wonderful facilitator of those meetings starting this month. We hosted a successful virtual college and career fair in October in partnership with Palm Beach. And as part of the October FAFSA drive, B2L set aside funding to pay out 125 $20 gift cards for students that either A, completed their FAFSA, seniors completing their FAFSA, or a peer, so a student in 10th through 12th grade that helped a peer senior complete their FAFSA. That led to over 600 submissions. Approximately 20% of those were peers helping peers. And we can very conservatively, account for at least $2 million in Pell funding for those submissions. So pretty successful year at the end of the school year. So going into next year, we are now in February almost, and we have a lot more data about what's happened and where we are strategically and what we are faced with in terms of moving forward. So I'm sharing a couple significant reports that I've come across that I think are very meaningful. The first of which is this McKinsey report, which is, I invite folks to really investigate this report on your own. This is one of many graphics, but they basically said, if we were to look at where we were at the end of the last school year and where we're going to get to, and look at scenarios of kids back in the classroom or not, kids getting quality remote instruction or not, the estimated learning loss, across the board is about 7 months. So best case scenario, on average, students, and this is K-12, so this is students across all grades in K-12, the average learning loss as a result of pandemic and the Herculean efforts by school districts to pivot to remote, best case scenario is 7 months of learning loss. But you can see the disparity by ethnicity. Students of color, Hispanic students, and low income students in particular, their learning loss from student engagement, student disengagement, and or lack of access, right? Wi-Fi, computers, et cetera, is not only temporary, it leads to many long-term aftershock effects, including economic challenges, et cetera. So important considerations for us going into our work into the next school year. This feeds into what happened on the college enrollment side. So, we got finally from National Student Clearinghouse data that showed us exactly where we stood in terms of college enrollment, and the enrollment decline, especially for low income high school grads, declined by 29% this past fall. And that decline is expected to be exacerbated because that is comparing across a universe of all students, and a lot of students that could afford to take a gap year, could afford to do something else because of COVID and stay at home or do something else, are likely to be back on college campus. But for low income students, I think that percentage, and according to the research, is expected to grow. And I like this quote from NCAN because I think it states what we all knew. We all knew that things were not going well, but college enrollment and learning losses and the data that shows us the declines and the impact are being verified by the data. 2 more slides on just informing trends. In terms of career preparation, I already mentioned that Naviance reflect that there are knowledge gaps in career options. But the other factor here is just the larger context of tying together employers, work-based learning, and student connection to those opportunities. There was a really great report issued by the Greater Miami Workforce, and it was a partnership of FIU, the Miami Foundation, JP Morgan, I believe. They issued this back in February, so pre-pandemic, but they make a lot of good points, one of which is we really don't have enough information or significantly organized information around student career awareness and experiential learning. It's happening in silos, and we need to be doing more of it, generally speaking. And then lastly, the last trend that is kind of telling for us is a report issued by the World Economic Forum. This is called the Future of Jobs Report. And it basically says that whatever the trends were pre-COVID have been accelerated. So there was already remote work, there was already digitalization and jobs being replaced by automation. But those trends have accelerated due to COVID. And the expectation is that 1 in 2 workers out in the workforce today are going to need to be reskilled. And the other overarching conclusion or takeaway from this report is that regardless of career pathway, digital fluency is a mandate across the board. So all of that is probably intuitively obvious to all of you, makes sense. Where's that gets us to in terms of underneath our goals for this year. It's really important that we are meaningfully engaged, albeit remotely, that we are focused on equitable outcomes, and that STEM related conversations that are related to career are important. So these are the 2021, I'm sorry, this should say 2021-22 goals overview. We have 3 buckets: career pathway awareness, college affordability, equitable college readiness and access, and a 4th category that we have to still figure out the metrics by which we measure, which is B2L is a collective impact model, which means we are not we are not all by ourselves. We do our work collectively with you with a shared agenda. How do we measure our partnership health with our various stakeholder agencies and partners? So we need to look at what that means and how to measure it. But that's a really important metric, I think, for a collective impact group like B2L. But in terms of career pathway awareness, you can see these are pretty straightforward. College affordability, we are keeping FAFSA completion, and we're using Bright Future scholarships as the scholarship metric to measure, because it does have all grades of applicability in terms of student GPA and reflection of, I think, different income categories of students. So that 3%, but against Bright Future, which we can reliably get concrete data for, is great. The last one, the increased enrollment in articulated college credit programs, which includes dual enrollment, industry certifications, magnet, AP, otherwise. What we have walked away from at this point, and this is our sense, and this is informed by conversations with Ralph and his team, is that B2L is not necessarily directly correlated to increased enrollment in the 80,000 plus kids that are currently enrolled in these various programs. I don't know that we can really directly impact that. So we are probably not going to include that. Under equitable college readiness and access, you can see the 3 goals we have there. I'm not going to go into detail. We're still waiting on measuring how we increase college enrollment by race and ethnicity. We're waiting on, I think, Student Clearinghouse data on that, Ralph, if I'm not mistaken, but we'll get that concrete goal and metric defined. So let's see. okay, and this, I'm sorry, this is the last slide. I think I'm running over a little bit, so I'm going to hurry through this. So the other strategic kind of positioning and changes for B2L include the following. Number one, regionalization. The work that we're doing extends beyond Broward right now. We're working in Miami, we're working in Palm Beach, we're extending into other parts of Florida, but there's no question that what we do, especially because a lot of it is remote now, doesn't need to stop at the county border, right? And the shared agenda from which B2L operates is clearly shared across county as well. Secondly, I think especially with the career area that is clearly needed for students, we definitely need to get better and closer with the career-oriented agencies and school district departments that are there. And Susan, you know, including our economic development partners, there's no question that the Alliance is driving a lot of business presence and business success here and is doing a lot of work, but I include the Alliance as one of our intended need to expand our partnerships with. The digital fluency skills I've already mentioned. I think it's been a real pleasure and privilege to work with Dr. Milenkovic and her team at Broward STEM, but I think her work, her partnerships, and what's happening in the classrooms that she helps deliver is something that is beneficial for us in terms of extending out. The funding for FAFSA trained 211 call counselors, and Will, please feel free to weigh in or add to what I'm saying here, but there's no question that FAFSA and completion of FAFSA is central to a lot of other things that get you higher ed money. And it's the first step, it's a primary step, and often a roadblock. So to the degree that we can get more outreach delivered more broadly but in an informed way, one of the ways that has been innovatively proposed is having call counselors that are informed on FAFSA, and we're not talking just FSAID, but the whole application, and to be there to be lingual friendly, you know, Haitian Creole and Spanish and English, to be providing that FAFSA training throughout the year. So that's something that we are pushing for. B2L is also not a one-man job. A lot of B2L work is me with your volunteer support, but there's no question that continued marketing support from the lovely Carolina. And I can't be more proud and grateful to Tron for all of his help with a lot of the B2L initiatives and programming that we have. Lastly, and this is an important point, does a collective impact group like B2L have a backbone or not, right? And, you know, is it to be or not to be? And we have thought long and hard about the future of B2L in its pursuit of a regional footprint and in pursuit of being independent. We are at this point interested in pursuing independent 501c3 status rather than moving from the umbrella of 211 to another backbone. So those are my final comments with regard to where we are strategically with our goals and objectives for B2L. We're now going to pivot to students talking, and we're hearing from them. But before we do that, does anybody have any questions or comments about what I just shared? Okay. So I'm assuming that's a no, and that you all think that was just really great, or you just want to get through this presentation. I'm not sure. So with that, we have, I have spoken to each of these students yesterday to confirm they're participating today, but other students that are on the line and that would like to speak are welcome to. And Sharon already mentioned that she is here, you know, to represent Sarah. But what I'm going to do is I've asked each of the students to talk about briefly about themselves, but start with answering the question, why are you a part of B2L? What does it help you do? What does it bring to the table for you? And then tell us a little bit about yourself and your goals and aspirations. So with that, I'm going to stop sharing. And Sharon, if we could start with you and have you give a few words.
All right, thank you, Miss Colleen. So why am I a part of B2L? Well, B2L has been this great platform where everyone has a voice and can very enhance every child's aspect of life and education, where both me and Sarah feel like it's a place that we have found to be more open and inspiring to the youth, and that we're very glad that we're a part of it. Thank you, Ms. Colleen, for allowing us to be here. And we also love it because there is really like very equal within the racial community, because as you can see, it's very diverse. There's children of all schools, all colors, and all genders here, and that is very amazing. Me personally, growing up, I have seen a lot of racial inequality, and as a minority and a part of the low income community, because I am, in a low income environment, certain certain aspects of life has really brought me down, like school and trying to get into college and having to pay for it and not knowing what to do. And then B2L is just here to encourage me to keep going and follow my dreams of becoming a radiologist. And it's just amazing. Of course, within Holt, which is me and Sarah's organization, I am the English I'm the English director. It's very inspiring to have all these kids that want to learn and become something great without, going through a lot of racial inequality, because we are very diverse with race and gender, and we are a nonprofit organization. So we welcome all types of children, and we just want to be here to help kids, just like B2L is. B2L is amazing. And I love that I'm here and love that the information that I'm getting. I love that I'm learning. And I love all the adults here who are also helping children learning. You guys are great. So from me, thank you.
Sharon, you're wonderful, and thank you for all the accolades. Do you want to explain a little bit? We when we hosted the SSN meeting in September, one of the things we suggested to students is think about ways, as you guys seem to be very empowered, that you could connect with your disengaged peers, right? How can we help one another? How can you help your peers? And the notion of a student-led project that would help peers came along. And Sarah was the first out of the gate with HALT. Do you want to explain HALT a little bit, like what it stands for and what it's intended to help do?
So HALT basically means help all students thrive, or help all learners thrive. And it's basically just to help encourage other students and all of my peers, because in my school, learning is kind of difficult with the statistics that you have brought about, how much education has been lost. That is very shown within our school. And me and her both thought that, hey, we need to help encourage our peers and help our peers. So she came up with HOPE, and I decided to join her project as well. HOPE is basically here to help students within certain subjects that they're, having difficulty in, and helping them get to college and get where they want to be. And I'm really excited about that, because I've seen a lot of kids struggle throughout my years of being in high school. I am a junior, of course. And I just figured that they need help. And without someone to help them, or someone that's not really in their age group to inspire them or lead them, it's great that me and her are trying to get out to the community and basically help all types of learners of all ages. So that's basically
It's fantastic, Sharon. And I know she's raised some money. She's got committees around different subjects. There's looking at different learning styles. You've done a lot of research and work on this. So congratulations, kudos, very well done, very well spoken, great presentation. Thank you so much, Sharon.
Oh, thank you for allowing me to be here, Ms. Colleen.
We will have you back. All right, next up, the wonderful Haley McTee from College Academy. Why don't you say hello and talk to us a little bit about why you are a part of B2L and who you are?
Yes, for sure. So once again, my name is Haley. I go to College Academy, and I really started getting to know Bridge to Life over the summer with their career town hall. And that was just an excellent experience. And to try and answer this question, why am I a part of B2L? I would say the resources that they have provided me, and then also the sense of community, not only within the students, but then also the adults, feeling like people who know more than us, have a little bit more experience than us, are willing to take time out of their day to talk to us and understand what's going on in your life. How can we make that better? That's just been really amazing. So the Career Town Hall helped me because career-wise, I like a lot of things. So I got to be able to explore that. I also got monetary incentives for being a part of that. And that's definitely going to help me a lot in college, because that's another thing I'm concerned about, is how am I going to get the funding for that? And then Student Success Network has given us more opportunities. We learn about scholarships. We learn about virtual events. They had the college fair, and then the historical Black college fair is going on right now. There's just so many amazing things. And then the Racial Equity Board, being able to have these tough conversations like this, you really can't find that in many places. And I'm just so glad that I've been able to see this, because it encourages students to understand the power of their voice and develop critical thinking when it comes to the world around them, to be able to look at injustice and not shy away from it, but think, what can I do about this? How can I change this in some way? And just hearing all the students and their amazing initiatives like HALT. And then we also have another one coming up with the Peer Network. And I'm just so excited to see what more students out of Bridge to Life come up with, and the support. I imagine we're just going to have more amazing projects throughout the time. And I wish I had known about Bridge to Life sooner, so I'd be a part of it for longer. But I imagine that even after I graduate, I will not be leaving entirely.
Haley, that was excellent. And you know what? We don't have a B2L alumni group. That's a really good point. And you would definitely be a part of that. Thank you for your leadership. Equally amazing presentation, you and Sharon. Wonderful. Thank you, Haley. And Haley is one of our Career Town Hall winners from last summer. So we gave out, I think, 21 prizes in total, but the top 10 each won $500, and Haley was one of those winners. So she articulated very well and learned a lot. So thank you, thank you. All right, next up, Ms. Roselaw Bruce. Thank you for being here. Tell us a little bit about why you are a part of B2L and the social media team, and a little bit more about you, if you don't mind.
Hi everyone, my name is Rosa Bruce. I attend Blanche Ely High School, and I'm thrilled to be a part of Bridge to Life B2L because this program provides ample opportunities to students, including myself, given that we have the YouTuber conference coming up in February, and Career and College Fair, and the Racial Equity Meeting, and many other great opportunities such as scholarships and resources that are given by B2L. I was very gratified to join the racial equity training this past Thursday and Friday. I was given excellent information about race in America. Being an African American, there is so much information that I did not know about until I joined the meeting. One thing that stuck with me from the training is the phrase, "Story of race is a story of labor," and that speaks great volume about the history of African Americans. Clearly, from joining B2L, I and many others were given great and incredible opportunities to get involved and network with others within our community. I have many of my peers that have started their own group, and with the help of B2L, they were able to start off efficiently. I would just like to thank Sharon and Ms. Collin for allowing me to be a part of the social media department and being able to spread the word about events that are coming up. For example, the YouTuber conference that's coming up in February, and many other events that's planned in the B2L. Thank you.
Roselaw, that was beautiful, beautiful. And Carolina, I don't know if you have Roselaw's video handy that we could show, but I'd love to show that. If you don't have it handy, maybe track it down, because I have Nia's handy. I can show that, but I don't have Roselaw's in front of me. So just, some of, we formed a group of B2L social media advisors, I guess. They're helping us with B2L social media accounts, and I'll tell you, I mean, kids are brilliant. And to look at some of the promotional material that they've created for the Digital Fluency Conference that we're hosting in early February is just incredible. So if we can get our hands on yours, Roselaw, we'll show it. But either way, we'll show it out after the fact if we don't have it handy. Thank you so much, Roslaw. Great job. Layla is another wonderful student that has inaugurated a student-led project to help her peers. And it's also equally wonderful to HALT. Layla, do you want to introduce yourself, talk a little bit about B2L and about your project?
My camera's on. Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, my name is Layla Melvin, and I'm a junior at Blanche Ely High School. And I joined Bridge to Life because I thought it would be a good opportunity for me to branch out and socialize with other people, especially during the pandemic. So it's really hard for people to go out and actually do things like this and talk about different things. Like, it's not just talking about the same thing every meeting. You actually get to look and be a part of different opportunities. And Bridge to Life also gave me the chance to start my own project, like Ms. Colleen said. And it also gave me the opportunity to be able to share this information with my peers. Like, all of this information that I didn't know, I'm not just going to keep that information to myself. I'm going to go and spread it to my friends who may not know about this, give them the link to the calls every month, and just basically try to get more people a part of this. Bridge to Life also made me realize that I wasn't necessarily the only one going through all of this racial inequality, especially during school time. Like, I know that talking to guidance counselors can be hard because they have to deal with your whole grade. And if there's only one guidance counselor in your school, that can be even more difficult. Like, with me, it was very difficult to learn about all of the things that Bridge to Life has taught me, like scholarships, how to be a part of all of these organizations that can give you money for school, how to sign up for FAFSA, all of that stuff. And that's just information that I didn't get from my guidance counselors, unfortunately, because it was so hard to get in contact with them. It was hard to schedule meetings with them because there are so many other kids that they have to worry about as well.
Layla, thank you so much. Really, really appreciate it. The Peer Friend Network project that you've launched is incredible. And I think in this time of disconnection, providing that mechanism for getting connected, staying connected is hugely valuable. So kudos to you. Thank you for all your hard work. All of you students, spending your time here today, and all the work you do, all the extracurriculars you have, you're all incredible. Thank you, Layla. Last but certainly not least, unless Arthur, you want to say a few words, but we're going to have Nia Virgo next, and I can't wait to show you the video that she produced. But in the meantime, Nia, do you want to say hello, introduce yourself, talk about why you're a part of B2L and the social media group?
Yes, thank you. So hello, everyone. Hello again. My name is Nia Virgo, and I'm a senior at JP Taravella High School. So when I joined Bridge to Life, I had just started attending school in Florida. I didn't know anyone. I didn't really know about the whole college application process. I didn't know about applying for scholarships or anything like that. And when my counselor sent me an email talking about the Student Success Network, this may sound cheesy, but I felt like it was just the perfect opportunity for me to learn more. Bridge to Life has a very diverse group of individuals who aren't afraid to talk about issues that schools tend to shy away from. That we're able to, through the Racial Equity Advisory Council, we're able to talk about issues like racism, which is very prominent here in the US. And I just love that opportunity. And through Bridge to Life, I have already learned a lot more about the college application process, especially through the college expo that they had recently. And it's just been a great opportunity for me to learn more, for example, learn more about FAFSA and applying for financial aid. And although I haven't directly made any friends from it, I have been able to connect with other students who have similar and opposing views. I'm exposed to a wide range of ideas. And it's a great opportunity for me to continue to learn more about my peers and other students.
Nia, that's fabulous. And you've been amazing. And I wanna show, let me do this. So Tron is going to tell you about this conference. But I would like to share, and I would like to have you indulge and be patient with two videos. One is 46 seconds, the other is 40 seconds. So This 46-second one was one that we adults put together, Carolina, Tron, and me, talking about the YouTube conference. So we're going to play that first, and then I'm going to show you what Nia did all by herself. So indulge me as we listen to these two videos.
Becoming a YouTuber or an e-gamer is much more than being a content provider. It means being an entrepreneur or even an attorney who handles digital clients. Digital fluency is a requirement for any career path you choose. If you want to know what it takes to be a successful monetized digital influencer, then join us February 4th and February 5th as Bridge to Life and Broward College present the first ever South Florida YouTuber Conference. There are over 140,000 different e-gaming jobs with an average salary of $128,000. And at this conference, you'll hear from companies regarding part-time jobs and internships, including Microsoft, Amazon, and many others. We're giving out cash prizes for the best video submissions from students who attend this conference. Sign up today.
Okay.
Becoming a YouTuber.
So great video, right? Certainly well produced. Looks good, covers salient points about the conference. The timing is good. Took a lot of work of putting that together. Here is Nia's video, and each of the students was asked to tackle different program topics being covered during the conference. And this is her video talking about the e-gaming portion of the conference. And you can see just comparatively, there have been 290 views of Tron's video. I call it Tron's video. 415 views of Nia's video. Here it is. Okay, so I don't need to say anything. I think that speaks for itself. The quality, the professionalism, the aptitude with which our students are creating and producing and just soaring, and especially in this space. And Lisa, I don't know, I didn't plan on this in the agenda, but I wonder if you could just take a minute or two and talk about how Broward STEM is teaching coding through the use of the Minecraft game, and how being creative in this online digital, influencer world, how that is informing some of the curriculum that you've developed for students in Broward.
Oh, sure. Thank you for the opportunity. We have not only just Minecraft, but we're also rolling out a whole Rocket League competition, but Minecraft is being used in all sorts of curriculum, from science, social studies, just for fun way for them to get together in a virtual world, because you can have more than 30, you can have 30 students in the world together with you, building and collaborating, which is something we miss out on a lot of the times with being all virtual. So we've come up with some challenges each quarter. We just released the third quarter challenges, and I can put the link in the chat, but it's bit.ly/Broward STEM challenges, all lowercase, all one word. And we have challenges there for Minecraft. We have virtual robotics. We have some environmental challenges, because you can still be an environmental steward even if you're at home, especially if you're at home, actually. So taking advantage of the benefits of being virtual, not making it all a detriment.
It's fabulous, Lisa. Thank you so much. And the strength and robustness of your curriculum and your programming is just great. So so pleased. And Lisa's also going to be presenting at the YouTube conference, talking about these gaming competitions in the classroom. So thank you for that. So we are back to our agenda. We're 10 minutes behind schedule, but we're still good to close here a little bit after 4 p.m. So we're going to give you back some time in your day. So the next item on the agenda is partner updates. So if I could just go around with the agencies that are on the call, Paul, Christine, Will, Carol, Ralph, could I have each of you talk to us about major initiatives that you'd like to share, upcoming events, any thoughts or input with regard to what B2L is doing that you have thoughts about? So I can go down one by one. Why don't I start? And Susan, not to put you on the spot, do you want to talk a little bit about the Claim Your Future event and your chairing of the NAF Academy and other aspects of your role, if you don't mind?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
So sorry if I cut out, I'm driving, so bear with me. So again, my name is Susan Kleiman. I'm the manager of education programs at the Greater Fort Lauderdale Alliance, and we work very closely with Broward County Public Schools. I work very, very closely with the Career and Technical Department, and we have one of our major events coming up in just a few weeks. It's our annual Claim Your Future Showcase. It's our 5th year. We usually do it every year at the BB&T Center. We usually have about 1,300 students roaming the halls, talking to companies, listening to executive panel discussions, participating in mock interviews and breakout sessions. And this year, I'm so pleased to announce that we're going all virtual for the event. I think we're on track to have about 900 plus juniors in career and technical programs from all around the district participate. And I don't know how we're doing it, but we're pulling it off on 3 different platforms. We're going to do Zoom, Teams, and NSU's Remo platform to try to mimic the live in-person experience at the BB&T Center. So we have 40 companies and organizations participating with virtual tables. We are doing a full day of mock interviews. There will be some breakout sessions and one executive panel discussion that all the students will hear. And I want to thank Colleen and anyone else on the call that has volunteered to facilitate mock interviews. Thank you so much. We're about to hit our goal, but if anybody does want to facilitate mock interviews for students, that would be amazing. I'm sure Colleen or Tron can share my contact information because I will have to drop off the call in a minute. But it's a great opportunity for students, and a lot of them have never had a real interview experience before. Were you going to jump in, Colleen?
Yeah, no, that's wonderful. I would highly recommend being part of the mock interviewing group. It's a tremendous fun. It's tremendous interaction with students, and it's very valuable. You get a script and I think short 5-10 minute kinds of interviews. So I'd highly recommend it, and it's not a big lift. I think it's a 4-hour slot of morning or afternoon that you sign up for. So anyone that is interested, we will share Susan Kleiman's email in the chat, and I think I might even have your email. But are the student slots already filled up?
So all of the students who participate in this event go through CTACE. I'm basically responsible for coordinating all of the business participation. So you would have to reach out to CTACE about that bit.
Okay. Okay.
But for any facilitators, the date is Thursday, February 11th. Time slots are 8:30 to 11 and 12 to 3. And if someone just shares my contact, please feel free to email me for more information.
Wonderful. It's a fantastic event, Susan. Thank you for all you do. Speak to you soon, and thank you for being here today.
Thanks, everyone.
So I don't, I'll just go down the list if you guys don't mind. Shay, I don't want to put you on the spot, but is there updates on Broward Education Foundation's initiatives and programs and all the wonderful things that you're doing and providing for students and teachers? That I know you just had that beautiful Alumni Hall of Fame event outside. It looks spectacular. Do you want to share a little bit about what BEF is for those that aren't familiar, and then, you know, what some of the activities and programs that you help run? Shay is muted. Okay, we'll move on. Candace from Broward College, your role, the Aspen Prize, other things going on at Broward College you'd like to share, the introduction you made for us to Dr. Key, thank you very much. And Candace has been very central to our understanding and interpretation and data analysis space. She's very, very brilliant in that area. Candace, do you want to share anything?
Hi, everyone. Thanks, Colleen. It's always a pleasure to be here. I thought I started my video. Oh, here I am. And actually, no, I think I don't have any updates in terms of on the Broward College end. I just want to continue to extend my support in any way as it relates to data analysis and how things are progressing. So just know that I'm here and I'm accessible to you all. And I love the work that you're continuing to do.
Thank you, Candace. I mean, it points to something that I think we haven't really stated here, but B2L is one of those opportunities to incubate and innovate solutions, ideas, programs, and initiatives in partnership with other agencies. So to the degree that we can do something out of the box and new that hasn't been tried before, that's also a part of our mandate, if you will. So, I think that's an exciting part of who we are as well. Elise, you're joining us for the first time. Tell us a little bit about your role at Broward College, what you think of what you've heard so far today, and any other updates you would want to provide.
Thank you so much, Colleen. I was brought in by Tron. He seems to be a VIP here today, and I know he's on the call, so we appreciate everything that you do for the college. Like I said before, I'm the Associate Vice President for Community Partnerships and Events at the college. So I have the pleasure of kind of reaching out to nonprofits in the area and seeing how we can collaborate with teams such as Tron's, or even just our programs for employees to go out and volunteer within the community. So we're very excited about this opportunity. We're excited about the YouTuber conference. You know, we loved the teen summit that we were able to do. What was that, 2 years ago now? That was a fantastic event, and we just keep looking forward to new ways to partner with you and opportunities for us to not only fund, but see what the results look like.
Fantastic, Elise. And if I could put you on the spot a little bit more, in the landscape of higher ed, one of the things that we're witnessing is a pivot to skill attainment and rapid credentialing. And I know Broward College has been ahead of the game in that area, and also one of the, the few higher ed institutions that are either considering adding or expanding kind of some of this new media curriculum, including things like e-gaming, et cetera. Can you talk about the pivot strategically that Broward College has made in the rapid credentialing space specifically?
So we were afforded the opportunity of receiving a grant to provide rapid credentials for free to low-income individuals within our community. If you're familiar with our Broward Up initiative, it aligns exactly with what we're trying to do. So we're trying to go into communities within Broward County that have a high unemployment rate and a low educational attainment. And how can we positively affect those communities? So what we're looking to do is when you go into a community like that, you can't say, come and get a degree with us. That's not going to be effective. What's going to be effective is giving them quick wins. Rapid credentials can be a quick win to earn a certificate, to gain skills that will advance them and then get them into seeing what higher education is like. Some of them may turn out to be full-time enrolled students. Some may just continue to get rapid credentials or credentials just to improve themselves. Tron or Brian Anderson, I see you're on too. Do you guys want to add anything to what I said?
Thanks, Elise. No, I think Elise, this is Brian Anderson, by the way. I think Elise spelled it out exactly correctly. We are very cognizant of the fact that the folks in Broward County, many of our community members need upskilling and reskilling in order to join back when the economy gets back rolling again. So we took full advantage of this grant that we got, and we've offered rapid credential opportunities to our community. In addition to that, we've received significant money through the CARES Act, which we are able to use as scholarships because we are a minority serving institution. So we've been doling out quite a bit of money to interested community members who want to come back to school, either our current students or even our new applicants. Very soon, we're going to be able to offer for our session 4 term, which begins on March 10th, we'll be rolling out advertising that will allow new applicants to the college to take 6 credits for free at Broward to get them started either towards a certificate, as Colleen, you and Elise both mentioned, is one of our real push points these days, is to try to get people skilled and upskilled, but get them started and hopefully keep them rolling through to get the skills they need for a career. So we've got lots of money rolling in right now to help our community get back on their feet.
Yeah, and in higher education, the one thing that we've learned over the last few years, it's not a one size fits all. Everybody finds their own way within our community at Broward College. And for some people, rapid credentials is exactly what they're looking for. So thank you for allowing us to highlight that.
No, wonderful, Elise and Brian, great to hear from you. And we're going to hear from Tron soon. That was really, really great. And you know, with annual enrollment of 60,000 students or so. I mean, I know that Broward College is the #1 destination for higher ed for, you know, a vast majority, I want to say 2/3 of the students in Broward. So thank you for all you do.
Colleen, if you don't mind, Colleen, this is Brian again. I hope that everyone on this call will help us to push the message out there that we do have funds available for those folks in our community who want to reskill and upskill, and just nationwide community college enrollment is down. We in the state of Florida, most of the community colleges are down by over 10% in enrollment, which is not good for our community. So we're kind of asking those of you on this call to please help us to push the idea that Broward College is a great place for our community to get back on their feet as we come out of this pandemic. That's a personal favor I'm asking of this group, is to push Broward College, the greatness of Broward College, and the funding opportunities we have to help our residents and our community get back on their feet.
Wonderful, Brian. And we absolutely do promote and highlight Broward College whenever and wherever possible. And you're one of our closest partners, and we value our relationship. Thank you so much. So up next, I'm just gonna list some names here. I see Joe Cox has joined us from Mods, the fabulous Mods, and what they've done to pivot in the fantastic aptitude program they have. So if I could call on you, Joe, followed by Carl from CSC, and then Carol and Ralph from the school district. And Judith, I think just your perspective across all the nonprofit agencies in Broward that you deal with, and then some. I'd love your perspective on what you've heard so far today and anything else you want to share from DeLuca's standpoint. But if we could begin with Joe, and can you tell us a little bit about what you've been up to? I hear you're now one of the top influencers on the Sun Sentinel op-ed piece every week. So congratulations on that too.
You know, be careful where you give me a platform to talk. I'm always willing to share the good work that Mods is doing. So thank you, Colleen, and happy to be here. Really excited. Tomorrow we are launching, largely in part and in response to the impact of the pandemic, our new Mods STEMmobile. So it is, I just put the link in the chat, and this is an incredible new mobile maker space, which is going out into the community. We're going to be serving 50,000 people over the coming year, and our goal is to make as many of those as possible available at no cost. We've got incredible partners who have helped make this a possibility and come to life. And we're already starting to book programs with Title I schools, partners like YMCA and Boys and Girls Club, Jack and Jill. So it's a mobile makerspace, and anyone can book it. They can reach out. The information's in the link. But we roll up with a van, tents, tables, and everything to do a project-based learning activity right there in the parking lot, playground, outdoors in a great space. So excited to get that launched, and the museum is open. We've reopened and are welcome people back with masks and social distancing. And to date, we're seeing about 40% attendance compared to 2019. So it's tough, but we're grateful to all of the partnerships in the community that are helping us get through this tough time.
Fantastic, Joe. And I wasn't aware that was up and running. That's great. And I'm assuming you're dealing directly with municipalities as well.
We are.
Okay.
We are.
Okay. Terrific. We'll
Thank
definitely be booking that STEM mobile. That's great.
Perfect.
I think it was Carl or Ralph and Carol next.
I think you said Carl, but we can go.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. It's Carol from Broward County Public Schools. Excited with all the work that's happening. We have so many things happening in our department. We're school counseling and Brace. Even though I'm in charge of the CCLR world, we, handle everything from mental health and social emotional to academics and college and career readiness. But in my space specifically, as you guys know, we kicked off our HBCU fair along with, B2L and Osceola and Palm Beach and Miami-Dade, which was amazing yesterday. If you haven't seen the kickoff event, I would definitely recommend you guys to go to our website, which is Broward Schools/Brace, and you'll be able to link onto it. All of the districts were represented, our kids were really represented, and every single day from today all the way through Thursday, we have different universities that will be talking to our students. We were all the way in one session, all the way up to 200 students at one point yesterday. So, this is something that kids are needing and really want. There's a lot of college and career fairs going on in different places, but to know that we're the ones that are promoting it and this is like a legit fair really means a lot. With that, we always have a call to action. Like, what are we doing after this HBCU fair? And so on February, let me just look at my calendar here. On February 9th, we have something at night that's going to be talking about college admissions specifically. So how do I get into college now that I've seen all of this? On the 10th, which is Wednesdays, which every single Wednesday, even today, we have what we call our College and Career Corner Wednesdays. So from 6 to 7 every night for parents and students, they can come in and it's all recorded for them to watch afterwards and watch a topic that we're talking about in College and Career Corner. Today's topic is college fit and match, and we have Kip coming in to talk to our students. And then that Wednesday, I believe we have soft skills, which, if according to like FCAN and everybody else, this is what we're missing, right? Is these students are coming in with credentialing, but no soft skills. And then on the 11th, we need all hands on board. We're going to be actually sending out a survey pretty soon because we're going to be doing another large FAFSA type of event. And because we are including all of the quad counties that were a part of this HBCU, we're going to need more than 50 volunteers. So if you feel comfortable in any way, once we send that out to you, we would love and need your help to make sure that, this FAFSA event goes out without a hitch. So we'll be sending it to Colleen. Colleen will be sending it to you guys. But again, our big goal is to make sure that our FAFSA numbers goes up to help then our partners in higher ed with admissions. So please feel free to contact me as well.
Fantastic. And Paul Martin just said he's in. I think his resource alone is worth its weight in gold, and count us in, B2L. And that's one of our Ask Carol too for YouTube. We're going to need some chat bouncer like support as well. And I just want to highlight your Wednesday night sessions, the College and Career Corner sessions that you've launched. They're really valuable. They're for parents and students. They are relevant in terms of career and college preparedness and readiness. And the other thing we should be doing is promoting the SSN meeting schedule as well, because we want more students to be attending those meetings as well. So fantastic, and we love working with you and your team and Ralph and everybody. You guys are amazing. All right, so we are running out of time here. I think Carl, we have a few more people to call on here, but maybe we just limit it to 30 seconds to 60 seconds or so. But Carl, Will, I'd love to hear from you, Judith. I'm sure I'm not seeing everybody here, but Carl, can you say a few words from CSC? I know CTASE just announced internships for the summer. That followed on CareerSource Broward making their announcement about summer youth employment. But it looks like the CTASE internships are being sponsored by CSC, which is fabulous. But all your work in leadership and racial equity, what you've heard today about B2L, any updates that you would like to provide? Carl, are you there? Okay, we'll come back to Carl. Will, from 211 and all the great work you're doing outside of B2L and including B2L, the CIE movement, the framework for the 211 call counselors, can we hear from you?
Sure. I'll just keep it short and sweet. Today's participation is what's most important. So we're proud of the work we did last year as a partner in B2L. The way to always remember 211 Broward is that we're always available in all ways. 211 Broward has 24-hour a day, 365-day a year helpline call counselors, literally anonymous, confidential, highly trained individuals who will help you seek solutions to your challenges and then connect you with resources that can assist. Again, free, confidential, always available. Thanks for that little blurb about 211. We always have things going on, but most importantly, we're here to help. And Colleen, thanks for a great meeting and a great kickoff to what will be a very good year for A Bridge to Life.
Thank you, Will. And I'll also just mention 211 Teen Space is one of the resources that Layla is going to use in her peer friend network. I mean, knowing that students aren't equipped to handle mental health crises and things like that, making sure that there are robust pathways for referral. Teen Space is one of those portals that is very valuable for teens specifically. So thank you for that. Thank you for all you do. All right, so Paul, Martin, and Judith. Judith, how are you? Give us a footprint about all things DeLuca and all things B2L that you know and would like to share.
Hi, Colleen. I just have to say that we are just continually impressed with all that B2L has been able to achieve. Also, your perspective from an equity lens is just so important. So we just really want to applaud you for all that you're doing. And Will, thank you all so much also for your support. And I am just interested to see how this grows into the different regions. I love seeing Christine here. Hey, Christine, from Palm Beach, and to see how that partnership can grow. So thank you so much. That's all.
Thank you, Judith. You are a brain trust and a strategic advisor for us, so we really appreciate it. And thank you for those accolades, very much appreciated. So speaking of Christine, if I could have Paul talk a little bit about College Money Method, and then Christine, do a shout out for your organization and what you do and kind of your leadership in the LCAN up in Palm Beach, that would be great. So Paul, do you want to say hello and just a few more words about your services and resource?
Yeah, you bet. Thank you so much. And I feel privileged to go in front of Christine because I love the work she's doing up in Palm Beach. We've connected several times. In short, I'm really focused on supporting Broward schools with FAFSA nights, anything that they need, as well as B2L. But my focus over the next semester, if you want to call it in school terms, is really helping students decode financial aid award letters, because they can be very confusing at times and not quite straightforward. So I'm working on a toolkit that will help students really be able to standardize the information they're getting from award letters, do fair comparisons, and also understand the impact of any lending or borrowing they're thinking about doing on their future financial wellness. So those are the things that I'm excited to be rolling out and offering several workshops on in the coming month.
Fantastic, Paul, and we're so glad that you're here today. And former kind of tech, person as well. We'll see about that Adobe connection. Hopefully, we'll see.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, for the
Stuff
YouTuber.
come from that, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you, Paul, and for everything you do. And by the way, Paul is also the president of the first gen alumni chapters for Harvard and MIT. So
I'm happy to help connect through anyone who wants meaningful connections with those institutions via first gen alumni and students.
Yeah, fantastic. So Christine, your name has been mentioned several times and your reputation precedes you. Do you want to just speak briefly about your organization and what you do up in Palm Beach? Did we lose Christine? We might have lost her. I don't see her anymore. Okay, so with that, we have Arthur that has texted in the chat, not to take up time, but just to brag on Arthur a little bit. He's amazing. He's a Brace cadet. He's I think a peer for other Brace cadets. And what he's written in the chat is just beautiful. So thank you so much, Shay. We will hear from you the next time. Is there anyone I haven't called on that would like to say hello, introduce any specific upcoming events or initiatives that they're working on that we didn't get a chance to talk about yet? Okay. All right. So last two things from us. There's two announcements. One is we do host a youth-led racial equity social justice meeting monthly. I'm starting in January. And our meeting is actually this Friday in January. These meetings are going to be facilitated by Shaba Kojo. He is from an organization called Shule. He is very facile working with youth. And we are grateful for his introduction from CSC. Adama helped introduce us to Shaba. So, adults are welcome to attend, but these are student-led conversations. And the other thing that we are offering every month, thanks to CSC, is racial equity training on a monthly basis. So this is just great stuff. And anyone that is on this call is welcome to join these meetings as well. I am now going to give the last word to Tron to talk about the amazing YouTube conference. Just to front end this a little bit, one of the things that we talked about was the idea that kids want to do this as a career. They may not appreciate that a lot of these influencers are working 17, 18 hours a day. But the other thing that we're doing is companies will be presenting throughout this conference in literally what we're calling commercial breaks. So every 15 or 30 minutes or so, Hulu or Amazon or Microsoft are going to come on, show a sizzle reel, and then talk about internships, part-time jobs, scholarships, or other kinds of special opportunities, including mentoring and competitions. And the idea is, yes, kids, go become a YouTuber, go become a professional e-gamer. Maybe your backup plan is to look at the robust tech corridor we have right here in South Florida and the amazing opportunities we have with local companies here. So we're really excited about the company participation at this conference, and that list of companies is growing. But with that, Tron, I don't know if your Wi-Fi is going to allow you to speak, but do you want to talk about the YouTube conference? And Tron also facilitates the monthly SSN meetings and does an amazing job. We are so privileged to have him in so many ways as a part of B2L. Tron. Okay, so Tron, I've allowed you to talk. I think that's you as a calling in person. Okay, so he's not here. So I will just end with, we have influencers of color, right? Destroy is a aspiring NFL player that has garnered millions of followers online and is doing very well online despite not being an NFL player. Big Jaw is a pretty well-known comedian. Story Mode Bay is a Black female gamer whose mission is to introduce more Black women to the gaming world that is predominated by largely, white men. Jobless Garrett is an FIU grad that began full-time streaming the day he graduated college. and now has 8 channels and is pulling down millions a year with his channels. Daryl Eves teaches all thing YouTube. How do you build the channel? How do you monetize? How do you trigger the algorithms? Very wonderful, very wonderful. Moosecraft is one of the leading players of Minecraft, has a large following. He's also a Miami native. And Ultimate Gamer is going to be hosting a special gaming session, but also a special competition. We are going to award 20 $100 prizes, the top video submissions from students, but Ultimate Gamer and a few other companies down here are going to be issuing special competitions for special things. And Ultimate Gamer is going to give raw video footage, and the students that edit those videos the best are going to be given prizes and possibly internships with the Ultimate Gamer group. So we're so thrilled about this conference. We hope you all sign up. We've got a lot of partners. The libraries are going to participate, talk about their creation stations. We talked about Broward STEM being a part of it, but fabulous, fabulous. So that's it from us for today. Our next SSN meeting is February 11th. We mentioned racial equity, social justice happening this Friday. And this group meets quarterly, so we will meet again in April, and I will be sending out the calendar request for that. Any follow-up feedback on our goals, objectives, or anything else that you wanted to provide that you didn't get to say today, we welcome it. We thank you all very much for taking time out of your valuable day today. And at that, we will adjourn, and I apologize for only giving you back 9 minutes of your day. Thank you, students, most of all, for your comments, your leadership, and your wonderful substance for being here today and being part of this movement. Okay. Oh, so Carl's here. Carl, did you want to say anything before we close?
No, I just want to say great job. I listened to the whole thing. I'm really impressed. I'm really excited about the YouTuber conference. I'm so happy that we had some young people show up. It's really motivating. Great job.
Okay, fantastic, Carl. We love you. Thank you so much. All right, we will adjourn. And everybody says thank you. Nia, great job. Lisa, thank you. Judith, thank you. Carol, thank you. Carl, Shay, Arthur, fabulous comments. Thank you very much. Joe, everybody, appreciate it. Rose Law. All right, I'm going to end the meeting now, everybody. Have a great day and the rest of your week. And Robert, I will follow up with you separately, okay?
Okay, thank you. Great meeting. Great to meet everybody. Bye.
Take care. Bye.